The education system in Switzerland is very diverse. Because the Constitution of Switzerland delegates the authority for the school system mainly to the cantons, the Swiss constitution sets the foundations, namely that primary school is obligatory for every child and is free in public schools, and that the confederation can run or support universities. The minimum age for primary school is about 6 years in all cantons but Obwalden, where it is 5 years and 3 months. After primary schools, the pupils split up according to their abilities and intentions of career paths. Roughly 20% of all students attend secondary schools, leading, normally after 12 school years in total, to the federal recognized matura, which grants access to all universities. The other students split in 2 or more school types, depending on the canton, differing in the balance between theoretical and practical education. It is obligatory for all children to attend school for at least 9 years. The first university in Switzerland was founded in 1460 in Basel, with a faculty of medicine. This place has a long tradition of chemical and medical research in Switzerland. In total, there are 12 universities in Switzerland, 10 of them are managed by the cantons, while 2 federal institutes of technology, ETHZ in Zurich and EPFL in Lausanne, are under the authority of the State Secretariat for Education, Research and Innovation. In addition, there are 7 regional associations of universities for applied sciences which require vocational education and a special Berufs Matura, or a Fach Matura, to study. Switzerland has the second highest rate of foreign students in tertiary education, after Australia. Many Nobel Prizes have been awarded to Swiss scientists. More recently, Vladimir Prelog, Heinrich Rohrer, Richard Ernst, Edmund Fischer, Rolf Zinkernagal and Kurt Wuthrich have received Nobel Prizes in the sciences. In total, 113 Nobel Prize winners stand in relation to Switzerland, and the Nobel Peace Prize has been awarded 9 times to organizations residing in Switzerland. Geneva hosts the world's largest particle physics laboratory, the CERN. Other important research centers are the Emperor and Paul Scherrer Institute, which belong to the eth domain. Primary. The obligatory school system usually includes primary education and secondary education. Before that, children usually go to kindergarten, but it is not required in every canton. The minimum age for primary school is about 6 years in all cantons but Obwalden, where it is 5 years and 3 months. The cantons Thurgau and Nidwalden allow 5-year-olds to start primary school in exceptional cases. Primary school continues until grade 4, 5 or 6, depending on the school canton. Any child can take part in school if they choose to, but pupils are separated depending on whether they speak French, German or Italian. Secondary. At the end of primary school, pupils are separated according to their capacities and career intentions in several sections. Students who aspire to an academic career enter Mittelschule to be prepared for further studies, and the Matura. Students intending to pursue a trade or vocation complete 3 to 4 additional years before entering vocational educations, which are regulated by federal law and are based on a cooperation of private business offering educational job positions and public schools offering obligatory school lessons complementary to the on-the-job education. This so-called dual system, splitting academic and vocational training, has its continuation in the higher education system. While the academic training leads to the Matura and free admission to universities, successfully completed vocational education gives access to third level of practical education, the Hohe Fachschule. If in addition to the vocational training the Berufs Maturitätsschule is completed, the Fachhochschule may be visited instead. Rather recently introduced as a third middle path via the Fachmittelschule, which leads to a direct access to a Fachhochschule after a successful graduation of a Fachmatura. In some cantons, students with a Fachmatura may also get access to universities after a successful additional year. In the science literacy ISC assessment of PISA. 15-year-old students in Switzerland had the 16th highest average score of 57 countries. In the lower second level, there are several different teaching and school models that may exist. Some cantons define a specific model, while others allow the individual municipalities to determine which model to follow. Separated model pupils are allocated to institutionally separate school types, according to their performance levels. The structure is based on the principle of equal capacities among pupils. Generally, each school type has its own adapted curricula, teaching material, teachers and, in some cases, its own range of subjects. In general, there are 2 to 3 school types, the names of which vary. In the structure with 2 school types, a distinction is made between the performance-based group at basic level, and the performance-based group at advanced level. In the structure with 3 school types, there is a performance-based group at basic level, a performance-based group at intermediate level and a performance-based group at advanced level. The requirements of the performance-based group at advanced level are the most demanding, and this school type generally prepares pupils for transfer to the maturer schools. Cooperative model. The cooperative model is based on core classes with different performance requirements. Each pupil is assigned to a core class according to his or her performance level. The pupils attend lessons in certain subjects in differentiated requirement-based groups. Integrated model. The integrated model does not use different school types or core classes. Pupils with different performance levels attend the same class and mixing is maintained. In certain subjects, teaching occurs on differentiated requirement-based levels. International education. As of January 2015, the International Schools Consultancy listed Switzerland as having 105 international schools. ISC defines an international school in the following terms. ISC includes an international school if the school delivers a curriculum to any combination of preschool, primary or secondary students, wholly or partly in English outside an English-speaking country, or if a school in a country where English is one of the official languages, offers an English medium curriculum other than the country's national curriculum and is international in its orientation. This definition is used by publications including The Economist. Switzerland was the birthplace of the International Baccalaureate in 1968, and 50 schools in Switzerland offer one or more of the EB programs. Tertiary. Tertiary education depends on the education chosen in secondary education. For students with immature, university is the most common one. Apprentices who attended a vocational high school will often add a Fachhochschule or a Hochschule to their curriculum. There are 14 public and generic universities in Switzerland, 10 of which are maintained at cantonal level and usually offer a range of non-technical subjects. Of the remaining 4 institutions, 2 are run by the Swiss Confederation and are known as Swiss Federal Institutes of Technology. Switzerland is well known for its advanced business education system. A number of world-class universities and embark programs, such as the International Institute for Management Development, HEC Lausanne, St. Gallen, Strathclyde, Caleidos FH and University of Zurich belong to that category. All of them are also registered in the Financial Times ranking. See also the list of universities in Switzerland. Switzerland has the second highest rate of foreign students in tertiary education, after Australia. Switzerland also has a high rate of PhD students and inhabitants with doctoral degrees. With 2.5%, Switzerland has the second highest rate of inhabitants with doctoral degrees in Europe. In 2008, the number of students graduating with a PhD was 3,209, of which 45% were foreigners. Educational rankings. In 1995, Switzerland took part in the Trends in International Mathematics and Science Study Assessment. TIMSS is an international assessment of the mathematics and science knowledge of 4th and 8th grade students around the world. It was developed by the International Association for the Evaluation of Educational Achievement to allow participating nations to compare students' educational achievement across borders. In 1995, Switzerland was one of 41 nations that participated in the study. They did not participate in later studies. Among 8th graders, Switzerland ranked 15th overall, 8th in math and 25th in science. A National Center for Education Statistics study that used the TIMSS assessment among 12th graders found similar results. The Swiss students were in their upper secondary education and were attending either a gymnasium, general education, teacher training or advanced vocation training. In math, the Swiss scored a 540, and were third out of 21. Their science score was 523, which was 8th out of 21. In physics, they scored 488 and were tied for 9th place out of 16. The advanced mathematics score was 533, which was third out of 16. The World Economic Forum's Global Competitiveness Report for 2010-11 ranked Switzerland as first overall. Under the fifth pillar of the report, higher education and training, the Swiss had a score of 5.79, which is the fourth highest among all the countries surveyed. Cantonal school systems. While compulsory schooling in Switzerland is 9 years long, many of the specifics of the system vary by canton. In most cases, the primary level lasts 6 years, and the lower secondary level 3 years. In only a few cantons, the primary level lasts 4 or 5 years, and entrance to the lower secondary level thus occurs either in school year 5 or school year 6. In 17 cantons, it is compulsory to attend preschool. In almost all cantons, the municipalities are obliged to provide at least 1 year of preschool classes. This table shows the school system for 2009-2010 and how the lower secondary schools are organized. Education demographics. During the 2008-09 school year, there were 1,502,257 students in the entire Swiss educational system. In kindergarten or preschool, there were 152,919 students. These students were taught by 13,592 teachers in 4,949 schools, of which 301 were private schools. There were 777,394 students in the obligatory schools, which include primary and lower secondary schools. These students were taught by 74,501 teachers in 6,083 schools, of which 614 were private. The upper secondary school system had 337,145 students. They were taught by 13,900 teachers in 730 schools, of which 240 were private. The tertiary education system had 234,799 students. They were taught by 37,546 teachers in 367 schools.